Ladies and gentlemen, the Baltics DLC has been finally released, and we can look at some Baltic units over here. Voila, CV90. My god, was this DLC hyped up and very delayed, and to be honest, now that it's out, how underwhelming. I mean, the title of the video, which was given by my teammates on Discord, was this DLC makes me want to play Russia, and I'll be honest, I've had my first impressions, so this is still the first day of it being out. Of course, they are fresh impressions, I could change them later on, but after playing these guys, I am so underwhelmed. I really am not impressed. I was expecting the spikes to do a lot better. I was expecting these spikes to do especially well, but they're just too easy to bloody counter. They don't even hit half the time, even though they're supposed to be very good at tracking, even better than javelins, allegedly. So this air defense is not very good. They haven't fixed the core problems of the game, which is like, you know, air defense not working properly, the overkill mechanic not being actually that good. The RT is very underwhelming, especially the K9 in-game. Nobody uses this, to be honest. Now, they're cheap units, they're very spammable, but ultimately, when the meta in this game is HE MLRS spam, there's not much you can do with your infantry. You can spam it out all day long, but yeah, to be honest, I've really not enjoyed playing with the Baltics whatsoever. I mean, you can have one or two cheeky combinations. For example, with the Special Forces, this is a very situational deck, and in all fairness, in some situations, it is actually quite decent. However, here we go. I'm using Rangers. To be honest, most of the units are, you know, my regular units. Obviously, I've adapted it to try and use as many Baltics as I can, but it's not actually overpowered, and like I say, it is very underwhelming. Now, individually, these units are quite good, individually, in their own respective rights, but as a deck combination, it doesn't really work for me, and it doesn't really work for a lot of people, and I think that's pretty fair to say. It's just sort of a really, just underwhelming, not, like, for example, the Scimitar, on its own, fantastic unit, right? Especially when you put the cage armor. But there's nothing really you can use it with the Spartan, of course, but when the BMP spam comes out at you, you don't go, oh, I wish I had a Scimitar, do you? You don't wish, go, oh, I wish I had a Spartan, even with its spike missile, which, like I say, just seems to be very underperforming, if I'm honest. When we look at the spike missile speed, I think it's a bit slow and maybe needs to get upped a little bit just to make it a bit more punchy. So yeah, I honestly, after playing with all of those decks, like I said, I've had some decent games. Oh, by the way, the server still crashes, people still get thrown and disconnected, and it's, yeah, obviously still very disappointing when stuff like that happens. So I've tried all the different combinations. I think the best combination, to be honest, is with the Marines. It works really well with the Special Forces. Airborne, meh, it's okay. So yeah, these two are probably the ones to go for. It actually works pretty well with the Bookers as well, so, well, the Striker group, of course, but you're sort of just limited in your options of what you can actually do, and there's not as much variety of gameplay. It's so much so that actually I'm just going to delete this deck. I was not entertained. I was entertained with this. I was moderately entertained with this, but otherwise, yeah, I'm not really going to play with the Baltics. All in all, I mean, the best combination of American units is still very much firmly, yeah, Special Forces Striker or Special Forces Marines. I think Special Forces Striker actually probably takes the crown there. So those are the ones that you should actually stick for. Like I said, first day impressions not great. When it comes to Russia, unfortunately the meta is still Tornadoes, Grads, Tulpans, Malkas. All the annoying arty gameplay hasn't really been nerfed. The whole idea was that you add longer aim times, right? So it's gone up from 20 seconds to 25 to 25 to 30, right? It's the same with the Tulpan has not been increased in aim time as far as I'm aware, because it's still considered a mortar. But essentially these changes are basically inconsequential. Like 5 seconds, whilst woof, you can do a lot in 5 seconds. In this game, not really so much. There's not much that changes in 5 seconds. Now, if we made it much longer aiming time, or just much more expensive, which I think we'd all probably get behind, it also makes it so much more rewarding when you actually destroy them, as opposed to, oh, I've lost 275 points, but it's fine because you kill one tank and you've broken even. So yeah, not really my cup of tea in that sense at all. It's the same with the story of the grads and all the arty in general. It's just the meta is boring at the minute, and I'll be honest, we were probably all so hyped up for the DLC that the actual delivery has been, well, pretty boring. A bit wank, to be honest. Not ideal. And that is unfortunate. I've been trying hard to be super positive, but unfortunately, that is the state of the game. So, would I recommend buying it? I mean, no, I can't. Even with, okay, yeah, fine, maybe do it on the discount. But, I mean, I love the game. I've put in so many hours, but I do feel like sometimes I'm at my wit's end. There's a lot of good, interesting variety with the Russians. I mean, the Baltics are interesting. There's very interesting units, but the mechanics just don't allow you to use it to its full potential, I don't think. And the thing is, I've obviously played the Broken Arrow 2.0, and after playing the Broken Arrow 2.0, this game feels awful. Actually atrocious. There's not much entertainment. There's not much sort of, just feels like a slobby, grindy battle. So basically, the faster 2.0 comes out, the better it will be. Like I said, I've played it a lot on the closed test servers, and it is a much more enjoyable RTS. But otherwise, in the current state of the game, can I recommend it? Not really. Not really at all. Despite putting obviously so many hours into it. And I think what's so addictive about Broken Arrow is the fact that you just, it's like that one more turn, one more battle, maybe this battle will be epic. And like, you do get some really epic battles which aren't spammy, which are actually tactical and strategic, where you do actually have to put some thought into it. But unfortunately, the higher elo you get, the more it just becomes about who can spam and click faster the most, and who can put in the most RT on target. Catface, obviously a very good infantry clearer, but it is just boring when you see them deployed constantly. So yeah, that is the current unfortunate state of the game. I was honestly I knew this wouldn't change much. I knew we'd just get the Baltics and there wouldn't be any major balance changes, but you just can't but hope for more. And maybe that's the whole point of Broken Arrow, isn't it? You just keep hoping that one day it's going to get better, and look, the only thing we can do is keep playing this game and hope that the 2.0 is going to be the absolute game changer that actually makes this an enjoyable tactical strategic experience, which is ultimately what we want from a strategy game. Sorry for the slight negativity. I can't help it. It's just my feelings. I'm sure many of you will agree with me. If you don't, feel free to let me know in the comments. I would love to see other people's feelings, because these are maybe just mine. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all the usual. See you later. Bye-bye.